Kalkadosh Boker Or, Bekiim Halacha 5. Yeah, this is day 70, Siman 37, right? Siman Lamed Zayin, this is going to be the obligation of how long do you have to wear the tefillin for? Okay, this is Halacha Hey, page 189. Okay? Ideally. So he says like this, ideally one should wear tefillin throughout the entire day. Yeah, so technically speaking, it should be the entire day. This, however, requires a great deal of self-control, for one must remain aware of one's tefillin constantly while wearing them. Furthermore, it's forbidden to break wind while wearing tefillin, right? You're not allowed to break wind, okay? So, for these reasons, the common custom is not to wear them all day, right, long, and it is vitally important, however, to wear tefillin while reciting Shema and Amidav Shachrit. One can be expected to control one's thoughts and one's body's functions for that short period of time. Meaning that even though it's true that nowadays we don't have the same kavanot and everything that, but at least for the period of time that we have over here. So look at number 267. It was common during the era of the Talmud for the Torah scholars to wear tefillin all day. Mamash tefillin was all day. So he says that Rambam wrote tefillin are extremely sacred items. As long as one wears the tefillin, they cause him to be humble and to fear Hashem. They prevent him from being drawn into levity and idle conversation. And they then keep also the lewd thoughts from entering his mind. I mean, he's not going to start thinking about improper things when he has the tefillin. So they direct his heart to matters of truth and fairness. Therefore, each person should attempt to wear them all day long. The Talmud goes through the life of Rav, the prime disciple of Rabbeinu Kadosh Rabbi Yudah Nasi, that he was never seen even with 2 seconds without speaking words of Torah, without tzitzit, and without tefillin. So mamash, all the time he was like that. A very powerful concept. Okay. What about a Torah directive or not? So the Premier Gadim wrote that he was unsure whether the Torah expects everyone to wear tefillin all day long, or if it expects us to wear them for a minute, and that our sages instituted a rule that one should wear them all day long. He concluded one is guilty of failing to fulfill the mitzvah only if you failed wearing the tefillin any time of the day, but one fulfills the minimum requirement by wearing them even for one moment. So the second you wear it one moment, you fulfill the mitzvah. But technically speaking, we should be wearing it much longer. But now what do you do nowadays? So the Rishon LeZion, he comes and he refuted the position of the Yeshod Yaakov and proved that the Maran ruled that one fulfills the Torah obligation even for one moment. That Yisrael Kodosh also brought down in the Kavachayim says that the main time to fulfill the mitzvah is during Shachrit. There's less of an obligation to wear it at other times during the day. So the main time of wearing it is Shachrit. Okay, and that's why you should wear it for whether it's going to be the Amidah in the Kriyat Shema. Okay, fine. Now he comes and he says like this. What happens if you do want to wear tefillin all day long nowadays? There's a Rabbeinu Yerucham that quotes Yerushalmi. He says that if you're going to, if you're going to wear it all day long, it was abandoned because people assume that wearing it all day long, you have to be like a big chassid. So someone with criminal intentions might disguise himself with tefillin in order to gain people's trust. And therefore, there was a lot of stories like that. I don't know if you remember. There were a lot of stories of people that they would come and they would wear, all these tefillin all day and this and that. And it says, he's zehanu min prushim. You have to be very, very careful from the tzuim, from the ones which are tainted and the ones which are separated. Why? Because sometimes they put on these things, you believe them, and then afterwards you find out that really be'emet, all the averot they do. Right? Tosafot argue that this is not correct interpretation of the Yerushalmi. The passage means only to want people to place their trust in someone based on the fact that he wears tefillin all day. Meaning, not because he wears tefillin, that's it. He's the biggest tzaddik. You understand? You have to pay attention. Okay, and it relates to an incident about a young Torah student who entrusted his money with an individual, assuming that he was trustworthy since he wore tefillin all day. Afterwards, when he asked the money to return his money, he said he denied it. Realizing that he'd been tricked, the student remarked, "I didn't mean to entrust my money with you, but with your tefillin." Meaning, I didn't want to put the money with you. I put the money with your tefillin. So according to Tosfot, if someone feels that he can do it successfully, right, it's permissible to do so. The Bahalacha also says if someone knows he's capable of wearing them all day, he should wear them all day, no problem. The Gomi Vina brought down in the Bahalacha also ruled that if someone wishes to wear the tefillin all day, he may do so, right? And he does not wish to have people suspect him of showing off piety. He could just wear the shel yad. Yeah, don't wear the shel rosh. Just put the yad. And then he's wearing it all day. What's the problem? So he says, yeah, that's what he says. Yeah, or he says you could also it's better to get a small shel rosh that you could wear it underneath your hat. In the olden days, they had a hat, so like it's gonna be like the doctor, and look under the doctor's hat. You don't even realize, but he's got his. Yeah, under the doctor's hat is a big brain, so you can't even. Yeah, fine. Okay, next halacha number 6, tefillin of shimush rabba. So this is a famous one. You remember we brought down that The difference between Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam was only in the way that the parashiot not are written, but the way that the mesudarim inside the tefillin. But in written, it's the same thing, the way that it is in the Torah. The only thing is you have, right, Kadeshli, Ve'aya, Shema, Ve'aya, or do you do Kadeshli, Ve'aya, Ve'aya, Havayot in the middle, Ve'aya, Ve'aya, and then you have Shema at the end. That's the only difference between Rabbeinu Tam and Rashi. What about Shimush Rabbah? So he says like this: some people follow the practice of the Yizal HaKadosh, that they wear a special pair of tefillin called Shimush Rabbah every day, right during the Mincha. The parchments of Shimush Rabbah are written in the same as those of tefillin of Rashi, right? Which means that again, one more time, it's the same as Rashi. So you're going to have Kadesh Li from left to right, Kadesh Li V'aya Kiviyacha, Shema V'aya Im Shemua. So that's like Rashi, but the leather housings are quite large, right? They're large. They're big boxes. Yeah, it's something similar. And they have distinct features. It is permissible to recite the Berachav Laniach Tefillin on these tefillin, since the parchments are written in position identically like the Rashi. And that's the cause of meaning like this. To make a Beracha on Rabbeinu Tam, you can't. But to make a Beracha on Shimush Rabbah, you can. Now why? Because it's the exact same like Rashi. Meaning this, it follows the same order as Rashi. So since it's the same orders of Rashi, not because the boxes are bigger, you can't make a Beracha. So you're allowed to make a Beracha on tefillin of Shimush Rabbah. Right? No, because it's only during the time of the Mincha that we're going to see. If Tefillin and Shmush Rabbah are not available, right? Sorry, one more time. Ben Ish Chai states that the Arizal's original practice was to wear Tefillin of Rashi and Tefillin Rabbeinu Tam during Shachrit, and Rabbeinu Tam, right, during Mincha. At some point, he had a new pair of Tefillin fashion according to the Shmush Rabbah, and from then on, he wore that during the Mincha. He taught that the Tefillin included all the spiritual elements of Tefillin of Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam together, and that's why the housings had to be fashioned a particular size, meaning that it had to be, it's like both of them together. So because it's both together, it had a special size. The Ben Ish Chai comes and he qualifies it, explaining that Tefillin Shimush Rabbah includes all the spiritual elements necessary for the Mincha prayer, but they're not suitable for Shachrit. If they would be, the Rizal would have worn them during Shachrit as well. He added the practice of wearing Tefillin Shimush Rabbah is very meritorious, and testified that his father made sure to do so during the month of Elul and during Aseret Tshuva. So it means the father of Ben Ish Chai used to wear them Elul and Aseret Tshuva, Shimush Rabbah, during Mincha. But now one more time, according to the Arizal HaKadosh, what he was trying to say is that if you're going to tell me now that the Shimush Rabbah includes all the best parts of Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam, just put on Shimush Rabbah. He says no. He says because it wasn't, how do you call it? It wasn't meant for Shachrit. So you can't wear it for Shachrit, only for Mincha. Okay? Now, it's like Rashi, but it's got much bigger boxes. So those bigger boxes and the bigger everything is going to be only for Mincha time. It's not good for Shachrit. No, it's not like Rabbeinu Tam, but it's got the best things of Rabbeinu Tam as well. Obviously, we have to understand what does that mean. I think it's the way that it's fashioned, whether it's going to be the boxes and everything else. I think it's going like Rabbeinu Tam, that it could also go like Rabbeinu Tam. I don't remember if it said that. I don't remember if I don't remember all the opinions, but if I remember correctly, it was like Rashi, the order of the parashiot, but the way that the parashiot were put in the boxes were different. We put the parashiot lying down. They did it, I think, standing up, if I remember correctly. But don't quote me on that one because I don't remember. So, but that's what I remember. So I think it was going according to all the opinions. It's a whole thing here. But here, what he's trying to say is Shimush Rabbah is only good for Mincha, not good for Shachrit. So because of that, that's why the Rizal HaKadosh would only put it on during Mincha, not during Shachrit. Now, what happens if you don't have a Shimush Rabbah? So he says like this: we can deduce from the above that if someone does not have Tefillin and Shimush Rabbah, he should wear Tefillin Rabbeinu Tam during Mincha, because that's what the Rizal did beforehand. One more time, the Rizal had the Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam in the Shachrit, and then only Rabbeinu Tam during Mincha. When he got Shimush Rabbah, he only did Shimush Rabbah during the Mincha. So if I don't have Shimush Rabbah, what should you do? Rabbeinu Tam. So he says, but obviously without saying a bracha.
Say it's Rashi.
100%, but you don't have Shimush Rabbah. So if you don't have Shimush Rabbah, put on Rabbeinu Tam without a bracha. Okay? Because that's what he's saying. He's saying that the Rabbeinu Tam is a higher level according to the Kabbalah. So Rabbeinu Tam you do during the time of Mincha. So he says we can do, right? So what happens? You put on Rabbeinu Tam without a bracha. This was the Arizal's original practice until he acquired Tefillin Shimush Rabbah. And that's also the opinion of the Kaf Chaim Sofer. The Halacha Brura agreed with this. And that's the practice of the Kabbalists as well. That of Chida related that some of his contemporaries wore the Tefillin of Rashi and Tefillin Rabbeinu Tam during Mincha as well. But he complained it was incorrect. We must trust the testimony of the Arizal HaKadosh that no, that it's only during Rabbeinu Tam during that time. It's also brought down in Nichtam LeDavid Pardo, right? He says, cited in the Kavachim Sofer, that also to wear only Rabbeinu Tam during the Mincha. Now the question is, why is it not showing off? Showing off. Ga'ava. Yuara. So he says like this: Yalkut Yosef warned people not to wear tefillin shemush rabbah in a synagogue where no one has the practice of wearing them during mincha. But if you would do so, then you're guilty of showing off. You're displaying that you kilu, you're what? You're Chassid. Yeah. If he already has a reputation of being extremely devout, so then he's allowed to. That's something else. You understand? But again, that means he has to have a chazakah that he's a big chassid. You know.
I'm going to decide to do an elul like the sub of the Benishka. I do an elul.
Rabbeinu Tam. You want to do Shimush Rabbah, but not in the Bet Knesset. But not in the Bet Knesset.
What about the Mincha? You say Mincha?
No, you do it in Azarat Nashim. Azarat Nashim. Yuara is a problem. Yuara. Okay? So he comes and he says like this. 270. This is the ruling of the Rishon LeZion's response to a question by his son, the Yalkut Yosef. And now he says it like this. So you have to be careful, right, before you make the bracha. Tefillin Shemush Rabbah are about 12 centimeters long. For many people, there's not enough room on the arm to place these tefillin correctly. As explained above, right, the average person has about 9 centimeters long on his arm when the tefillin are going to be placed. So Maran the Rishon LeZion ruled that if someone's tefillin are too large to fit within the prescribed arm, he must not say the bracha then. Right? According to this, when he ruled that one may say a bracha, it's only if he's referring to someone that has a long arm. Right? That means you have to have a long arm. Because remember, if right now it's not right on the bottom, it's when you bend. When you bend and it goes up. So if it's going to go like this, so then you don't have enough space. So if you don't have enough space, what are you going to do then? So you have to have long arms in order to be able to say the bracha. You're right. So that's what he says. He doesn't say 90%, but he just says it's not going to be without a bracha. Right? Lav davka gvoim. You know that there's some people that are not even that gvoim. יש לך ידיים ארוכות. By the way, it's not. You should know that's not correct. Do you know when you buy shirts, right? Right now there's a Black Friday. When you buy shirts, when you buy shirts, you choose the length of the what? Yeah, which one? 30. So I get usually 32, right? 32. But really, by man, I could also put on 33, but then it's already a little bit. But you've got 34, you got 35, so it all depends even on that. Huh? No, for me, for sure, yes. 34 is long. But I'm saying, meaning that it all depends on the thing.
33 is also long.
One second. Okay, so one more time. So according to this, he says, you don't make a bracha. The last halacha we're going to mention is on Rosh Chodesh and Fridays. So he says on Rosh Chodesh, the custom is to wear tefillin shemush rabbah during mincha, just like ordinary days. But the custom is not to wear them on Fridays. So that means even though on Rosh Chodesh, you do put it on la mincha, Friday you do not, because obviously instead of Shabbat.
Friday never do
No. Yeah, you don't do it.